It's not gonna be funny, but you know what's not worth your life?
What's that, Barry?
A piece of art. It's not funny. Like there's like absolutely nothing funny about this movie that I could like.
I'd make a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry,
This is Colby.
and this is Who Watches.
Theme music.
Add a little extra spice to that.
Right, yeah. We were just listening to music, so I was like, I'm off.
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome to the last movie of.
Rodo month.
He's like shortened it now.
Yeah, we shortened it up.
It's a little too late for the shortening.
Rosario Dawson, underrated actress extraordinaire.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like it's pretty due time that she gets like a leading role somewhere. You know, I guess like maybe Clerks 2. She's like one of the leads.
Right, and then she did get the Asuka.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, for that, so that's like that was a pretty good lead for her. I mean, huge property.
Oh yeah.
Huge IP.
I said, just hope that Disney doesn't squelch the Star Wars name enough that we don't get another season of it or something.
Disney was just the wrong move, I think. Just because, like, I think you're like limited as far as like Disney. Disney always has to think about like the overall like. This is a family-friendly company.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, this is going to sound really dumb. They got Marvel, and they got Star Wars.
Oh, gosh.
But then they could just let them just kind of
do their own thing.
Mediocre. Because if Warner Brothers picked up Star Wars, and then Disney had Marvel, then the two of them would have to always be putting out the very best to try to top each other.
I mean, not even like WB, because like that's another studio.
It was just the first thing that popped in my head. Now think about them doing all the cartoons. So.
I know, because I'm thinking like, there's like, obviously there's Blumhouse, A24, but those are more indie things. Maybe Lionsgate. It's just kind of rough where you would want, but like there's like, Star Wars has such a rich history, and you're like, and you want to see the more adult stuff, like as far as like murder, like the darker themes of like what can happen with Star Wars and stuff like that. I don't know. Before we get started, did you see that? I guess this is one of the cool things that Star Wars has done for its fans is they had made a new Jedi character named Riley Howard or something like R.I. But it's based off of a student. I don't know the whole story. I just got a glimpse of it, of somebody who had stopped a shooter in real life, and unfortunately he had passed away. But he was a big Star Wars fan, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so they gave him like the what's it called, the yellow lightsaber, the Sentinel lightsaber,
right?
The protectors of knowledge and all that stuff, and like immortalized them. He even has lore on him.
That's awesome.
Which is like super cool for them. That's probably like one of the cooler things that Star Wars has done lately. But all right, let's get into the weird. Oh no, sorry, the weird song of this movie.
That's right. What year is this?
2013.
2013. Okay, I was listening to music then. Probably.
So this is gonna be. It's gonna be so weird. Okay, but this should be easy to catch because like I left like the original portion of it, so you should be able to. Right?
Okay.
Shaved neon modern art, nice smile and a girl that's so smart. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Silk dress and go out and dance. This might be 2013's Trance. Lucky for you, that's what I Kobe, can you name that weird song?
This what you like, that part, like, is very familiar. I should know this, and
His last name is of a planet in the solar system.
Freddie Mercury.
He's dead in 2013. He's Filipino.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
I went the wrong direction from our planet.
Mercury. Yep. Today we're going to be talking about the 2013, I guess international film,
Sure.
Trance. I think it's from like London or like UK or something.
Oh, okay, that would make sense.
A lot of European actors. Like the only person I think that's American in here is Rosario Dawson. But this movie is starring, what's his face from Professor X, John McAvoy from Wanted, obviously X-Men and all that stuff. We also have Vince Cassel, French actor, I believe.
Yeah.
In a bunch of things like Black Swan.
Always the bad guy.
Always the bad. No, it's so weird because he can kind of go either way if he wanted to, but maybe he's just been getting like kind of pigeonholed into the bag. He does have like a bad guy look to him.
He does.
But he also could like, he's also cross-dressed.
It was one of those things. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he did. I was going to shave that chest a little, but... But yeah, no, it's one of those things where, like, he's a bad guy often enough. When I saw him, I was like, oh, that's a bad guy. Like, 3 seconds in the movie, I'm like,
but like
I know
in
the
French movies, he's a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah, look, in the Marine, or no, the Mezzarine, Public Enemy #1. Good guy. So maybe it's like a whole like a Jet Li thing in Lethal Weapon 4.
Okay, yeah, right.
I believe that was Jet Li's first and probably only time where he's played a bad guy. Well, if you count the one, there's multiple Jet Li's in that one.
Right.
It's like one of my favorite Jet Li movies.
I really like that movie.
Especially when he gets to the end, he's like on the pyramid. We also, who else do we have in here that's like recognizable? Danny Sapani, who is, I believe, an African actor, but huge in, he's been in Black Panther.
Oh, right,
and all that stuff. So yeah, really a pretty diverse cast, more international than American. But from 2013, it is a psychological thriller heist movie, and I think we just get into it.
Real quick. You talked about Professor X, James McAvoy.
Yeah, James McAvoy.
Totally side story. Just also this like last week watched Mr. Glass.
Oh yeah.
Holy goodness, that tied that trilogy together so well. I mean, I liked both I liked Split and I liked Unbreakable.
Yeah.
But once you put that third one in, boom! It's.
Wow. Well, a lot of people didn't even know.
Fantastic trilogy.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even know Split was gonna. They're turning that into a trilogy. That was really well acted as well.
Yeah.
As far as like the movie itself was really good, just because of the M. Night. Everyone I think that was a part of like M. Night Shyamalan's like renaissance.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Unbreakable was like when he was still good before he kind of fell out of favor.
Yeah.
And then this was kind of like his Split kind of seemed to fall between the cracks.
Yeah, that and was it like Home Visit or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty good too. I think M. Night Shyamalan was just like a victim of bad marketing.
Right.
Because like I forgot who I was talking to, but he was trying to explain to me the downfall, like the downfall of M. Night Shyamalan wasn't his fault. It was the studios, because he had kind of pigeonholed him into being like, oh, you're the twist guy.
The twisted end
but
guy.
Like
yep.
The movies that had supposedly flopped were movies that weren't supposed to be marketed the way that they were. And that's where the disappointment lied in. Like a lady, or was it a woman in the like water, or lady?
Oh, right, yes.
That was supposed to be like a fairy tale thing for his kids.
And they totally played it as like this horror movie with a twist ending, and everybody was like, oh.
Yeah, so that's, you know, like how you say, like when people hype movies up for you,
right,
and you're just disappointed. That's so unfortunately, and then also like him wanting to always just be in Philadelphia or Philly is kind of a thing. But so let's talk about this movie. This movie starts off in an art gallery with James McAvoy narrating,
right,
talking about, like, you know, just pieces of art, you know, Van Gogh, Rembrandt, and all that stuff, and he's explaining the inner workings of working at an art gallery and how no life is more, no art piece is worth more than a person's life.
Right, but yet it's how important it is to save a piece of art if it's worth millions of dollars.
Well, you know,
it's true. I'm like, really, it's not just like it's not somebody who's you know, trying to steal a 6-pack from 7-Eleven. Where you're just like, go ahead and don't come back.
Yeah, but if you're ever in a situation where it's like either you or the piece of art, you're like, all right, well, here's the art.
Right.
Art gets stolen all the time. Look at Britain.
And it's interesting because he kind of does this whole rundown of like how basically like old art used to get stolen just because it was just like, hey, I'm bigger than you. Give me that piece of art.
Yeah.
And I take it. And then like, you know, how much better security has gotten, but then that makes on the reverse side how much sneakier the thieves have to be. It's no longer brute force. It's now like this trickery.
Yeah, espionage.
Yeah. Totally made me think of the movie with the magicians and the cards.
Oh, Now You See Me?
Yeah.
The magicians, you know, the ones with the cards.
It was like the card trick. They kept doing the card tricks.
Well, they're magicians.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Like things like freaking Oceans, the Ocean series.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, definitely it's become like a much more intricate like situation, right? The systems get more advanced, so they have to advance with the systems and all that stuff. So it's crazy. But yeah, like James McAvoy is talking about his like team. Like we have, we have this death squad on property when we're doing all like auctions and all that stuff.
Right. It's stupid. Like just like my brain doesn't work like a thief. I never even like thought. Yeah, I'm like, sure, you got security, but you're like, oh yeah, I guess if you're auctioning off like multiple original like Van Gogh, Salvador Dali, some $1 million pieces, you have more than just a little security hanging out, watching things. You probably have the
like SWAT teams,
the Ukrainian,
KGB or MI6 or whatever. You have, you need definitely those private security firms.
Yeah, yep.
That are like ex-military or something like that. So he's explaining this and he's like introducing, like he's like, what was it, this personal bodyguard or whatever that helps him kind of thing, and they're auctioning off this Rembrandt. That's why I don't know anything about painting. I just know, the Ninja Turtle guys.
Right. Those 4 famous painters.
Yeah, Da Vinci, Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo. And all of a sudden, now like the team that he was like sort of explaining, portions of them are like shedding like their uniforms.
Putting on gas masks, and
so you're like, oh, a heist is afoot.
Oh yes.
And unfortunately, the French guy that he was like so proud of, or no, we don't know he's French yet, but he looks French. He's like the head of this whole espionage.
Yeah.
And so they storm this auction that for the Rembrandt painting that just went for like 25 million.
Right. Yep.
And so he's like, James McAvoy, he kind of steals the painting away. He tries to like escape with it with other security guards.
Right. He's following the protocol to package it up and get it into, basically into the safe.
Yeah, like this, probably, like one of those like you don't have enough time to crack that type of safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, unfortunately, by the time he gets there, he gets met with Frank, who is the bodyguard.
Yeah.
And, he has a shotgun. He's like, don't do anything stupid. Sorry, that was like more Jean-Claude Van Damme. But and again, like James McAvoy's like inner narration is like, no life is worth more than a piece of art. So he hands it over to him.
Right.
But then he starts to sneakily go towards the security guard, and he picks up like the cow prodder.
Yeah, a little taser.
Yeah, and he tries to tase Frank, which was like, 'tis but a scratch to Frank. Because he tanks it. He's like, that was very stupid.
Yeah.
And proceeds to like shotgun whip James McAvoy in the face.
Full, butt to the forehead, just
and so
clean knocks him out.
And so, like, meanwhile, there's obviously chaos ensues because they're tearing off like tear gas and all that stuff. The team sort of disperses. One of the guys like puts the tear gas to his face to make it look like to really sell that he was like, oh no, my eyes. Frank is able to escape with the painting to the roof.
Part of the group parks a little car directly behind the Ukrainian thugs, so they can't get out of the van.
Yeah, and and then what's it called? Frank, he gets up, he finds like those little chutes that like from Home Alone. The only time I've seen them in New York when I lived there, but it's like a debris chute. And he slides down to like this dumpster that's like padded and all this stuff, and they're able to escape.
Right.
But when they get back to base and he opens up the package, the painting is gone. And then we cut to James McAvoy, who's being sent to the hospital.
Right.
And he's there for a cool minute. He gets surgery done. He gets like the blood drained.
Right, because he got blood in the brain.
Yeah.
Because typically you get movies where you get like pistol whipped or bat to the head. You're knocked out, but then like you wake up and you just shake it off and you go. This is much more realistic. This is like you broke his head.
Yeah, and he's there for maybe a month, couple weeks at least. Until the doctor's like, are you ready to go home? You feeling good? And he's like, yeah, I'm all right. And they send him home in the same suit that he got brought in, which first of all, they would have like cut through that and all that stuff.
Right.
But when he gets to his car is broken into, and he's like, oh, you can't be serious. It's like more Shrek. It's more Shrek than British.
Donkey!
And in the morning, I'm making waffles. And then he gets to his apartment, and it's torn asunder.
Oh yeah, trashed.
And he's like,
and you're like, this poor guy. He tries to do the right thing, and he gets stomped, and then then he gets his car's broken into. While he's in the hospital, somebody breaks into his house and destroys it.
And he's just like, gee. And then like all of a sudden he gets a ring on the doorbell, and it's one of the thugs.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, he's not good at all. And then the next thing we see him, he's like, well, the thug is like, hey, Frank wants to see you. And so the next scene, we're at this warehouse, and he's getting his nails torn out.
Yep.
That is,
and it's
torture.
It's graphic. It's
better than the teeth, I guess. Getting your teeth pulled out, no Novocaine.
Right. Yeah,
and so, but like these guys are like super like pretty adamant that like what's called James McAvoy knows what it is, but Frank is like, I don't know if you've ever gotten your nails torn off. But after the first one, you're gonna sing like a canary. Yep. And so, baby, and then like obviously they know that he's suffered a traumatic head injury. So Frank goes to the hospital and he's like, "Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, any kind of medication that we could give him to help speed his memory recovery?" And the doctor's like, "Well, it's time. He might not get it back, but it's pretty much." Just time, and they're like, oh, we don't have time.
The doctor's like, listen, if there was medicine to cure memory loss, I'd be so rich right now. Basically is what he's saying. But no, he also is like, maybe you could hypnotize him. Maybe that was like a thorough line.
Right.
throwaway line, but like it's also like a possibility for like as far as like psychology goes. Maybe you could do that. You know, some people use it to like hear their smoking and all that stuff.
Right, and you get a lot of people who have who remember repressed memories.
Yeah.
Not necessarily brain injury memories, but you have like the people who are like, I was hypnotized and then I remembered that, my father beat me, or that I was abducted by aliens,
or Father McLaughlin put a thumb in me. I'm sorry, Irish people. I didn't mean to say like an Irish name. But no, and so Frank is like, here's a list of hypnotists. Pick one. Yeah. And so James McAvoy looks through it and he picks a woman named Elizabeth Lamb, who is played by Rosario Dawson. To be fair, if I had to get hypnotized, I'd pick a hot girl too. Right,
yeah, because that way if they molest you while you're under, it's still okay.
So he go, but they're like, hey, you gotta do a different name and all that stuff, and they wire him up. So they're listening on. They need to listen so they can get the information. Right. But you also have to go there in the pretense of like looking for something else.
Right, because you can't be like, hey, I'm looking for this $1 million painting that I stole that I can't remember where it's at. Yeah. So they come up with the plan that they're like, you lost your car keys, but in your brain, if you remember your car keys are connected to the painting, if she helps you find the car keys, it'll help you find the painting.
Yeah, I think I would have probably been like, listen, I have a Rembrandt keychain that my dead father gave me. Can you...
Right.
Because then, if you're being hypnotized, it's like way easier to focus on like that. Just like look for your Rembrandt keychain. Yeah. Yeah. Versus trying to also stay in your head and be like, all right, keys is painting. But no, so he goes under the disguise of Mr. Maxwell. Yep. Unfortunately, he doesn't answer to that name. So it takes him a minute, but then he's like, oh yes, it's me. And Miss Rosario Dawson's character looks sort of befuddled.
Right.
Like she recognizes him. So, I was like, oh, okay, I already get it. But no, and so they do the therapy, and she's kind of going through the motions of a therapist. Right. But then, like, as he's under, because he's like, oh, like, imagine a man. What's his name? He's like, Simon Newton or something like that. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, fuck. She knows him. No, we gotta bust him out. He's like, no, wait. It's just a figment of imagination. And so, but then she notices that there's a wire underneath his clothes. Yeah. And so she's like, oh, okay. And so, but then, like, he takes her through the session, and he's like, they're in the wardrobe. And so he's like, so the session kind of ends right there. Right. And then they dash to his home. Yeah. And again, tear it apart.
Tear up the wardrobe.
Even more.
And in the wardrobe is the keys.
And he's like, I'm so sorry, guys. I tried, but she kept saying keys. Meanwhile, Rosario Dawson's character is Googling him. Right. Googling the name Simon Newton or whatever. Yeah. And it sees like, oh, art exhibit hero. Simon, and so like now she's kind of like, you're like, oh, she's putting two and two together. You can't be dumb in a therapist,
Right? Yeah.
So they go for another session, and like Simon is just like, oh, well, I actually have to find something else that I've also lost. So could you help me with that? And so they go through the therapy session, but she has flashcards. She's like, are you being listened to? Are you being threatened? And all that stuff. And she has like a recording of like a session. And then all of a sudden she gets close to the mic and she's like, get over here, you assholes. And they're like, oh, we are busted. And well, I'll stop saying Rosario. Elizabeth meets up with Frank. Yeah. And so she's like, I need to be equal parts in this.
Yeah, it's pretty clever. She's like, basically, I figured out what you're looking for, and I know it's worth $25 million. So I could definitely help you find it in his brain, but I need a cut.
Yeah, and like it's funny. The conversation is like, oh, like what they're talking about something, and then Frank brings up like humans are greedy by nature.
Yeah.
And then that's when she's like, well, I need a cut, and he's like, all right, about 3%.
Yeah, 3% finder's fee.
Yeah, and she's like, I need more. She's like, I told you, greedy. This is almost like a Pepe Le Pew French accent that I've been doing. But he's like, well, 90% is better than no percent.
Yeah.
And so now they're doing like a group therapy session. Right? And she's trying to take James McAvoy in this hypnotism thing, but then like there's a blockage that's happening. And so she's like, I can't get through to him because he's so scared of you guys.
Right.
He is afraid that once you find the painting,
that you're gonna kill him.
Which is like facts.
Right.
I mean, like, to be
especially since he blocked the original stealing of the painting.
Yeah. I mean, I could disappear with that, right?
Yeah.
25 mil, that's a lot to disappear into. Like, you're like...
But it's only 5 mil because they're splitting it.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, but like, if James McAvoy takes it and he finds a fence for it,
that's
it's
true.
25 for him, and he could just disappear. I could disappear with 25 million.
I could disappear with 25 million.
Yeah. You know what I'd start doing? I'd start working in those watchtowers in the forest. But then that's also scary, It's scary for a different reason, like devil cults and stuff like that. But you do that in America.
Right.
And you're always on the road, like one of our old friends used to do. He used to do all those contract jobs all over the national parks. And, and you're like, I'll do that for fun. But like Elizabeth is like, well, I need to show him your guys' fear. And they're like, no. But they kind of like, they oblige because they want the painting. They want the money.
Right.
And so they get up in a line, and she's trying to take them through it. And she's like, oh, Simon will say it, and you guys won't be able to come out until Simon says the other thing.
Right.
And they're...
The safe word.
Yeah, they're all laughing. Unfortunately, the one of them does fall into the trance, Nate. And he imagines himself getting buried alive, which is
and it's interesting because she also talks about like some people don't really ever get hypnotized, but there's like this 5% that are super suggestible.
Yeah.
That are like you can
take them down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And what's it called? 1 out of 4. That's, I don't know math, but that's 25%.
Right. Right, and he might not be super suggestible, but still, he's on that more suggestible end.
Yeah, and then like Simon is kind of like indulging in this,
right?
But like Elizabeth is like, Simon, get him out of there. He's like, all right, strawberry. And so like
on a totally like different. Sorry, it's a little sad story here. I saw a little meme that was like, for when you're in the bedroom, your safe word should be meatloaf. It's because meatloaf
you'll do
sings,
anything.
I do anything for love, but I won't do that. I was like, that's clever. That's and you would never say meatloaf while you're...
Yeah. Mine was always cornucopia. Like, how do you use that, It's hard to even use that in casual conversation. That was a cornucopia of things. But no, and so now they're a little bit more ready. Right? Frank is like, all right, listen, he's seen one of us be vulnerable. Right. So that should be able to take him down the rabbit hole.
Right.
And so they go through another session, and this time James McAvoy is being taken to the countryside by a French girl. Yeah. In like one of those freaking Italian job cars.
Yeah. It was a super cool car. I like that car.
Yeah. Like a tin can, though. You know what I mean? If you get in an accident in America with that car, that's what I always think about smart cars, too. Like, you're gone.
That's why you got to get a Cybertruck.
Have you seen those?
You're running everybody over.
Have you seen those around town?
I have seen, actually, a couple. I've seen a couple times in the similar location, so it may just be one that I've seen multiple times.
Yeah, they're kind of cool, but it's kind of like too blocky for me.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. I like it a lot.
Because you grew up with Tron, that's why.
Yeah. Damnation Alley, like all those like old sci-fi movies. That's what it.
Blade Runner.
I think that's what it is he watched those same movies as a kid,
yeah.
And he's just like, I need a futuristic truck for the future.
How much money are you willing to bet that Elon Musk thinks he's a remnant? But no, okay, and so they do this whole thing, and now he's like, and look, she's taking to this art gallery, like we're all there, and you're seeing all these paintings by like Solier. I don't know if that's a real paint guy, but
right,
it sounds like
it's all the paintings that he had studied that had been stolen and lost are all hanging up.
Yeah, and then she takes you to the final room, and there you unwrap something.
Yep.
And then it's an iPad, and it has all your lost memories in it.
Right.
And like this movie is kind of hard to kind of go like in a more descriptive way, just because there's so much going on, and that's such a normal thing for a Danny Boyle movie.
Right. I didn't realize
it made sense though, right?
Who he was till after that, and I was like, oh, all these movies are all yes.
When I saw the director,
style.
Yeah, when I saw the director, I was like, now this makes sense. Yeah. But it starts to recollect his repressed memories, and so he doesn't get taken to the hospital from where he got knocked out by Frank. He actually gets up and like, he explains, he's like, well, when I was taking the painting, I'd actually cut it out with a razor blade.
Right.
And then I put it under like my jacket.
Yeah, and so when I put it into the
bag.
The portfolio bag and gave it to him, it was only the frame. The painting was already missing at that time.
So I had to cow prod him.
Yeah, because if he saw that it was missing before he left the building,
then I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Broke loose.
But he starts to walk out, and he's trying to escape, but then he gets hit by a car.
Yep.
And then at this point, he starts to sort of mix the memory.
Right.
Because he's like, you ran me over. And he's like, I wasn't there, Simon. And then it keeps cutting in with the French girl.
Yeah.
And so he freaks out and lunges towards Rosario Dawson. But then the freaking Ocean's 11 stop him. And then so they calm him down and all that stuff. And they start to do like a little psychotherapy, like a little cuckoo's nest type of therapy.
Right. And it's like at the beginning when he kind of is looking through the list, he's like, oh, she's the one that I want. Like, so you get the idea that he's seen her before and that she's seen him before when she acts weird, when he's like Mr. Maxwell, but they don't really know each other. And then you're like, was it actually her driving this car?
Yeah.
Is she the one who hit him with the car, and that's how she knows? Maybe she's got the painting.
Exactly. You're kind of thrown in this whole like what's going on situation.
Yeah.
And so like she takes him to like this psychotherapy thing where it's like, oh, they're going to show you a bunch of images, but if you linger on this image too much, you're going to get shocked, and it's going to get stronger and stronger, which is like an actual, wasn't that like a thing?
I think so.
That was like, oh yeah, shock this person, but then the people that were shocking didn't know. They just kept doing it, and then the person that was getting shocked wasn't getting shocked at all. He was just acting. Super. That was like one of those immoral or unethical experiments for.
It was Clockwork Orange was kind of based off that too, right? As he would get shocked as he watched violent images.
Yeah,
and it would give him a mental aversion for being violent.
I think they were doing that too at those gay aversion camps, which is. Jeez, just let your kid be gay, dude.
That's right.
Yeah, that's torture. But no, and then like Rosario Dawson's actually like she's like his memories are getting weird because he is starting to develop an obsession with me, and Frank is like, oh, do you mean he wants to screw you? And she's like, no, it's called transference, and he's just trying to fill something with me.
Right, yeah, the gaps that he's gotten in his memory, he's putting me into them because I'm the one who's trying to help him those.
And like it's like she's like he's not even getting shocked right now.
Right.
That's his brain doing it to itself because I told him that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what's the cure? And he's like, I have to fuck him. And I was like, you know what? A+ therapy. No, but he's kind of like, oh, you know, you have to wear a wire. And she's like, I'm not wearing a wire.
Right.
And he's like, oh, how do I know? You know, and so they kind of like figure out like a whole plan because this portion, it's kind of cutting in and out of like different moments.
Right.
Because like James McAvoy wakes up and like in another place and she's like, oh, you know, that was just a dream or whatever.
Yeah.
But James McAvoy was like, can I take you out, you know, like for dinner or something? And so like they like all this is happening all at once. They do have dinner at this one restaurant, but James McAvoy is like,
and he's like, this is our favorite restaurant, but I don't know if I've ever been here before. And then,
no, it's his favorite restaurant.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's like, I don't, yeah, and he's like, that waiter looks so familiar to me. That's so weird. And they end up like going. He ends up like taking her home, but then like he's like, oh, I can't do anything with you.
Right.
And so like Rosario Dawson goes to Frank, and they have sort of like an argument. But then like you know Frank is like, oh, so enamored. You know they have sexual tension.
They do.
Yeah, and
he's
so,
the bad guy, or he's the bad boy that you know.
He's the French bad boy.
Right. Ooh. Oh, as a plus. Yeah. Good looking.
And they have sex. But then Nate sees it. Nate was like, that's not fair. But then for some reason, he goes to like James McAvoy. And he's like, we have to talk. Oh, he's not French.
To me, that was totally the two of them are screwing, so they're going to screw us out of the money.
Mm. Yeah.
They're going to try to find the painting and, you know.
And then
just,
So, like, Rosario Dawson no, she doesn't go home, but, like, I think James McAvoy is at her home or something, right?
Yes.
And so he's like, you're fucking Frank. You're screwing, you're messing with my memory and all that stuff. And and she's like, well, you don't even want to touch me. And he's like, oh, and they start making out a little bit. And,
right.
And it's somewhere along, like, she's like, wait, hold on, let me do something. And then she goes into the restroom and you hear her shaving.
Yep.
Which is like, if you're a guy, you might take that as like, oh, I guess she hasn't been active, you know, like, you know, some they say like, you know, I have female friends and they're like, well, during the winter I don't shave.
Right.
Type of things are like, when I'm single I don't shave. Who am I shaving for?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's sort of how I took it, and so maybe that's how James McAvoy as well had took it.
Right.
And then when she walks out, we get a full frontal. We see some nani, but then again, like, it was like the camera angle was enough to where it's like, oh, that's probably a body. The bottom half is a double.
Most likely, yeah.
And James McAvoy is like butt naked.
Right.
And so this portion of the movie, it kind of bleeds together. You don't know what's like in James McAvoy's head, and you don't know what's reality.
Right. Yeah, because you're kind of getting flashes of a number of different things.
Yeah, and so it's super difficult. But like James McAvoy's butt naked, and you know, like you think they have sex,
right?
And because the next one, one thing I have to say is Frank bugged her apartment.
Yeah.
You know, without her knowledge. But so James McAvoy walks out. You know, he's doing the whole Leo strut. Just had sex strut. And Frank is like waiting outside, and he's like, I think it's time for us to talk.
Yeah.
And so they start, you know, they're like, I remember where the painting is.
Yeah.
And so like James McAvoy, he's like, well, before I tell you guys, let me go wash my face, you know. I got all this pussy juice on me. But when he comes out, they're like in this like, I don't know, sandblasted glass room, and they're like, oh, we'll just kill him after he tells us. Ha 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 ha. And so James McAvoy freaks out.
Right.
Calls Elizabeth, and she kind of like coaches him through like how to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's a gun in this drawer. You should get that.
Right. Oh, yeah, because she was kind of going through some of his stuff
after they had sex.
After they had sex, and yeah.
Yeah, after Frank gave her a baguette, and pulls out the gun, and he starts blasting.
Yep.
Blasts Frank in the chest, and then in the face, and Frank is like, she's using you, bro. She's planting shit in your head that's not even there.
Right.
Because earlier Frank is like, can you make somebody do something? And she's like, only to an extent.
Yeah.
You know? And then, like, you think James McAvoy kills him, but then he pops up with, like, freaking, it's like...
With, like, half a head, yeah.
Just like some friggin' Freddy, what's it called? Nightmare on Elm Street shit. Freddy Krueger shit. And so he, like, kind of snaps out of it, and he's back in the room, butt naked.
Yeah.
And, like, Rosario Dawson, who actually got Elizabeth, she got the information of where the painting was, starts to try to leave the house. But then the goons are there as well. And so they capture her. James McAvoy is all butt naked, and he's, like, getting his butt beat. You know, because he's, like, trying to... He's like, no, stop, don't hurt Elizabeth, and all that stuff. And now Nate is, like, talking to Frank. He's like, you're going to take James McAvoy. You're going to go get the painting. And he's like, well, why me? He's like... And then the other guy... He's like, you're lucky you're still even in this.
Right, yeah. We saw you screwing around. And,
You've been compromised.
Yep.
You know? And so they start to try to leave. And Nate is going to assault Rosario Dawson because he was like, that's a piece that I need to get.
Yeah, everybody else has had some of this.
I need a slice.
I need a slice.
Yeah. Super terrible that the other two guys are like, have fun. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm going to make them miss a drink.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, but James McAvoy, he before like they leave, she kisses James McAvoy, puts bullets in his mouth. So he knocks Frank out. He grabs the empty gun. Earlier, you know, Frank is like, look at this gun. There's no bullets in it. That's what she thinks of you. You're shooting bullets, blank bullets. No. So he packs it up with some bullets, and he starts blasting.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, come on, bruv. I didn't even touch her, bruv.
And he blows him.
He shoots Nate in the dick.
Yeah, he shoots off his tiny head.
And then he kills the entire apartment.
Right. Yeah.
With almost wanted-like precision. You know, if he curved a bullet, I'll be like, oh, this must be an extended universe.
Right, yeah. And eventually he starts using mental manipulation because of the damage he got to his brain.
It's like, now it's like 3 different. But no, so he takes Rosario Dawson, and he's like, you did something to me in my head, and I need you. You're going to tell me what's up. Right. Because he finally knows where the painting is. So they go to, he's like, drive, we're going to go here, we're going to get the painting. Yep. And so, oh my God, Rosario, like, Elizabeth has to pay 1,800 pounds to get this overdue. I was like, first of all, that's ridiculous. There has to be a flat fee at a certain point. It's either that or it got towed. But, like, no, I'm not paying close to $2,000
to get your car out. Yeah.
But they get it and everything, and then they start. He ties Frank to the steering wheel with the zip tie. Yeah. And he tries to be slick about it because that's exactly what I would do. But he's like, no, tighter. Zip, and then and then so they get in the back, and James McAvoy, you're gonna tell me what you did to my head. And so Rosario Dawson, who had earlier told Frank after a night of passion, she was single because her ex-boyfriend had beat her. Yeah. Or abused her. And now we start to get like a backstory on Rosario. Elizabeth's like, this is not the first time we've met, bro. We have actually, you came to me a year and a half ago because we learned that, we learned throughout the movie that James McAvoy has a gambling addiction. Right. And he had racked up quite a amount of debt. Yeah, and that's part of the reason that he was willing to help with the thievery, the heist, because he still had a substantial debt to the mob that he needed to pay off. He was like to Frank, I guess, or no, like Frank just paid. We learned that Frank paid off his debt, but he had to do this to pay, to pay Frank
off. Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, and then, like, it's funny because, like, the first time we see Simon and Elizabeth meet for the first thing, he's like, oh, I have actually a pretty bad gambling debt. I should probably come back for here. And I was like, oh, foreshadowing much? And so, like, we learned that James McAvoy's character goes there. He gets hypnotized to try to get rid of the gambling addiction.
Right.
But James McAvoy, he got that patient riz, he's like, oh, and they end up having an affair, because you call that, it's not just an affair if you're married, it's also an affair if it's like a professional thing.
Right. Yep.
And this is where we learned why she shaved, because James McAvoy is like, look at all this art, look, it was pure perfection when they used to not put the pubes in, and then after Goya,
it goes and draws pubes, and now everybody puts pubes in and makes the vajayjays are gross.
And she explains, like, I loved him, and I wanted to do the things that he liked.
Right.
It's like, what you do for your partner, and like, oh, my partner enjoys this, so let me do that. And but then, like, James McAvoy has started to become obsessive and jealous. She was like, we see glimpses of, like, this thing throughout the movie, and like, oh, and then, like, and then it just progressed worse and worse. Like, they went to the restaurant, and this is, like, sort of one of the biggest tipping points. You embarrassed me just because you thought I was looking at a waiter, and he made the waiter sit down. He's like, look at the beautiful couple, blah, 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 and it kind of hinders to a point where Rosario Dawson's like, we have to break up. You're becoming too much. And he slaps her. Yeah. And that's definitely the cutting point of everything. And then so he becomes super obsessive. He's like writing short letters, long letters, emails, calls, trying to get into her building. One time he actually gets in there because, another person is leaving. Right. And you could see her, like, he's like, oh, please, I'm trying to let me just apologize to you and talk to you face to face, this and that. And so Rosario Dawson kind of, like, gives in. Like, it's a very, like a lot of victims that we've seen apologize for their husband or something. And this is sort of the same situation, because she opens the door. But the moment he does, he's trying to, like, assault her. He's, like, choking her. Yeah. And everything. So Rosario Dawson was like, the only thing that I could do was, like, because you wanted to continue the sessions, was to make you forget about me. Right. And so she successfully does it. She's like, after, like, a couple months, you showed up less and less. You're late. And then you just, at one time, you just stopped showing up. And all that stuff. And then all of a sudden you come back. Yeah. Because of the head injury. Right. Your mind kind of, like, the thread breaks.
A little bit of stuff kind of slips through as the other stuff gets lost.
And then this is where we learned that the woman that hit him with the car, he had kept replacing the woman with Rosario Dawson's character, and he ends up killing this woman. Yeah. Like, it was, like, good acting.
And it was this just poor little French girl who just had to hit him with a car because he was all dazed and just stumbled out into the street, and then she was trying to take him to the hospital. And
but, like, jeez, like, when you said, like, man, when she was, like, choking her, like, the spit coming out of his mouth from just, like, I was like, jeez. And so, like,
that director.
Yeah. It's a good Danny Boyle, and they open up the trunk, and the painting is there, but also the woman's dead body. Yeah. Which I was like, no one in this parking lot was like, something smells weird. I guess you could attest it to, like, maybe there's a burst pipe. But still, like, it is.
Or, hey, whatever, Fiat, whatever that was, Bugatti, whatever, they got a good airtight trunk.
Oh, I know, because once you're in that car, you have to smell it, right? Yeah, and so during this whole time, they're going back to the warehouse that he got his nails pulled out of, and James McAvoy is just, like, super done, and so he starts to gasoline up the car. He's like, I'm gonna kill Frank, and then probably after this, I'm gonna kill you. That's what I think. He doesn't say it, but I was like, dude, there's no way you're not gonna kill her. Right, yeah. So he gives her the painting. I don't even care about this painting. Take it. But you better run. That's what I was thinking. And so he lights up. Frank is in this car, and he lights it up, and he's able to, I don't know why he just didn't get out of the door.
Well, because he opens the door and then splashes gas on Frank, and then closes the door, and then lights the gas that's around the car. So if Frank opens the door, he's immediately going to go up in flames.
Yeah, but I gotta take my chances.
Right? Yeah, you stop, drop, and roll.
Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, you took him to this warehouse. You know this warehouse. You must have known that there's,
right.
So Rosario Dawson, she goes and she finally finds a truck that has the keys in it.
Yeah.
And like, let's kind of like just we'll blast through this because we're coming a little close. She ends up killing James Franco with the truck, and then starts and pins him to the other car that's on fire, which falls into the harbor.
Right.
And this is why I was saying he could have just dipped out and then jumped into the harbor if it was so close. After that, well, obviously James McAvoy is dead, but Frank is able to escape the car with very minimal burns.
Right. Yeah.
And Rosario Dawson is like, "You all right?" And he was like, "Yeah." But then, like, when he wipes his face, she's gone.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he wakes up in the pool, and I'm like, is he under hypnotism too? But no, the doorbell rings. He gets a package. It's an iPad. Same little situation with the frame and everything, and she opens it, and it's Rosario Dawson, and she's like, "I know you're mad about this painting. You probably want me to sell it, but it just means too much to me. Not because I think about him, but it's more because I think about you when it comes to it now."
Right.
Because, they had a little thing, and then, like, you later learn that he kind of activates when she texts him, "Bring it to me."
Yeah.
Which I was like, what?
So then, so you realize that she's kind of been hypnotizing him as well.
Well, no, like, the "Bring It To Me" text was to James McAvoy.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But, like, but, like, I don't know where this whole thing is, but she's like, "You can come and find me. I really hope you do. But if you don't and you want to forget me, push this app and just listen to my voice."
Right.
And he's, like, kind of, like, contemplating it, but we never see the choice he makes.
Right.
And then the movie ends right
Credits
there.
roll. And she doesn't sell the painting. She's like, I can't. It means too much to me.
Yeah.
So I'm just hanging it on the wall. It's like this yellow wall in the painting. So it's like
25.
super vague. There's no way you could tell where she's at from the picture.
Yeah, but he's probably pretty rich. He can go look for her.
Right.
All right, before we get into thoughts about this movie, let's go to our other segment, High Star, Low Star.
Oh, bring it to me. 10 out of 10. Highly enjoyable, very clever psychological heist movie that will stay in your head for long after the movie finishes. The movie is hypnotic in more ways than one. From the intertwining plot that carefully unravels to the banging soundtrack that pulls you right in from the very start and keeps you on the edge of your seat to the very end. Another masterpiece from Danny Boyle. Sexy, violent, edgy, and great pacing, but you need to pay attention to it all for it to all make sense. The joy is all in the detail. Excellent movie overall, and refreshing to see the beautiful main actress bear all.
All right, 1 out of 10, terrible, utter guff. Got so bored halfway through, I cracked open the rum and got a lash on. Barely paid any attention to the second half, but don't think I missed much. Seeing Rosario Dawson's chebs, I don't know what that means, doesn't even make up for this pish. This person must be from, like, the UK. Apparently you have to write 10 lines, but I'm finding it difficult to write a couple of lines about how bad this was. It doesn't help that I've drank rum. Maybe that's why I didn't like it, but I doubt it. Don't get me wrong, I like Danny Boyle's films, but not this streaming dung heap. Did I say that I drank rum and some Prosecco to kill the pain? I watched some mosh pits on YouTube afterwards just to cheer me up. Yeah, this guy's got to be from from the UK. Kobe, what were your thoughts on this movie?
I enjoyed it immensely. I thought this was really good. I can. The end, the very end, got a little, like I said, like it was. There was a lot of flashes and stuff, and you really had to pay attention to try to keep in it. But like you said, like the first half, after the first half, he was like, "Let me hit the rum." The first half was so good, like it kept you,
pretty engaged.
Very, yeah. I was just, I can't believe that. So, but yeah, no, I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I was like, I had to think about it, but I was like, because to me, I was like, it doesn't make sense that she's like, bring it to me. Bring what? Yeah, how did she know that he was gonna pull off this heist? But then she was like, she's probably the one that implanted like the whole heist thing to begin with. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, in my head, I was like, that makes more sense that he was like, because then she was like, when he was like trying to reprogram him, you're gonna lie, cheat, and steal.
Right.
Because I've suffered in this relationship that we had, and you're gonna pay me back with something.
Right.
And I was like,
you need to bring me a painting.
Yeah, and so it's like she did not help with his gambling at all. But like she was like, if I get him into as much gambling debt as possible, then he's gonna need to do something like steal a painting.
Right.
And he's gonna bring that to me, and then I don't know. I don't care if he goes to jail or anything.
Exactly.
I'm gonna disappear.
Yeah, he hit me, so screw him.
I mean, he did. I think more than he was like that choking situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she was like, the police did not care. They told me I should just leave the country. Right. I was like, jeez, it's assault, man.
That's where you know it's not the U.S. Not that the police would have necessarily done a whole lot, but they wouldn't have told you to leave the country.
Depends. Yeah. Depends what shade you are.
That's true.
But they're like, she doesn't have an accent. She's American.
Right.
Yeah. Besides, like, this movie is like, it's pretty hard to follow if you're not used to like Danny Boyle's style of film.
Right. Yep.
And so I could see, because then like when like I didn't know this is the Danny Boyle film, I was like, oh wow, that was a lot to kind of process. And then as soon as I saw directed by Danny Boyle, I was like, that makes a ton more sense.
And apparently, like I was watching, somebody else was talking about this a little bit, and apparently Danny Boyle's got a cinematographer that he has attached himself to, and so a lot of his bigger movies is the same cinematographer.
Yeah, like director,
camera angle,
Yeah, director of DOP, director of photography and all that stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. That's great because then you can kind of have a consistent film style.
Right.
It's like these two are like a dynamic duo, but no one's Robin. They're both Batman. I understand the 1 out of 10. The guy's like, I like Danny Boyle's films, but this is if it's also like a different kind of twist, like from his past movies with the whole psychological thing. And I think that may also just make it a little bit harder for people to really enjoy this film. But I mean, if you like a ton of different type of movies, then this is definitely probably going to be in your wheelhouse as well. Is there anything?
I thought everybody did a fantastic job, like acting wise. I really liked the camera angles, the first thing said, the soundtrack. It really was a well thought through soundtrack. Sometimes you get a movie and they're just like, pick the top hits and put them in here,
Yeah, I don't know if Danny Boyle wanted to use a whole bunch of Ariana Grande. Apparently that was her year when I was trying to look up some songs to weird out on. I was like, I don't know if Colby's going to know any Ariana Grande. Yeah, but like I like the actors in this as well. I mean, this is probably one of the first times you ever see James McAvoy kind of be the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really, to my memory, it's like, I mean, Split, but like that's kind of like you knew that out the gate. But to see him, I think like the abuse portion is like, wow, that's evil, dog.
Right. Yeah. He's a talented, underrated actor as well. Like I don't think he really gets the props that he deserves. But yeah, probably of all the movies we watched this month, this is the Rosario gets to emote the most in this one.
Yeah, she gets like a really good amount of screen time and lines and importance in the movie.
Right.
And it's just like, it's really cool to see that she was sort of the mastermind of this whole situation.
Yeah, that made it fun. Because especially since you got, the other people who are more typically the brain behind the evil, and then here it's not them, they're just getting manipulated.
Yeah, but I was just like, my head was like kind of nitpicking. It was like, well, how did she know to text him right that moment? Was she watching him? I don't know. Like, does she realize that he would that she's the cause of an innocent woman dying?
Right.
That was actually really cool. Like, what's it called? Practical effects as well. Her dead body.
Oh yeah.
Oh, with the flies and everything, and the what's it called? The face being eaten, and like, I was like, oh, that's really good practical.
Oh, that's effects. True. So it couldn't have been that airtight if flies were getting in there.
I don't understand the etymology of flies. I don't know how they spring up. I don't know, man. Who knows? I'm not a forensics. Do you need that for flies and larvae to start up, or it's just rotting?
But something's got to lay the egg for the maggots to start.
Does it? I don't know. Because like, what about like when people get buried and stuff? Like,
well, things crawl through. That's why you put them in a casket, so that the things can't get to them.
But like, don't they still? I don't know.
Not until like your body like erupts. Yeah,
see, that's why I'm getting cremated.
Outright.
You're gonna cremate me and then shoot me into space, and then an alien is gonna be like, geez, they keep throwing these things out into space, and they recreate my body, and now I'm a part of the Marvel universe.
It will eventually form into an Infinity Stone.
Oh. Hit the source wall from DC, like, oh, I'm in another reality. Oh, man. But yeah, like, this, I would say, like, this movie is a half and half as a recommendation for me, just because it's like, I gotta know your movie taste before you should watch this movie.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't really expect it to be as psychological. I felt like more it was going to be
like heist.
And you get that he lost it, like in like the trailer, that he lost his memory, and so they're trying to find it. But yeah, a nice twist at the end.
It's either that or you're a huge Rosario Dawson fan, which if you are, 1 hour, 1 minute, and 23 seconds. That's gonna be your frame that you're gonna replay over and over. That's the portion of the VHS tape that's gonna get worn out.
It was the one with the never mind.
Which one? Oh, the Titanic.
Titanic. I was gonna say, what was the one where the girl was in getting interviewed by the police, and she does the like little leg cross?
Oh, what's it called? It's with Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone.
Was it Dangerous something?
And that was like you'd rent it on VHS, and like that, it was like that part was actually shaky because so many people have like rewatched that one spot. It was getting worn out. It was like a little fuzzy.
Hey, that was a classic. Like that was like an SNL thing that everyone was like kind of copying and making fun of.
Right.
Which was funny. If you do it today, it's a dick. Someone's gonna be like, it's a guy dressed like in a woman's clothes and then like a little plop. That would be like a Scary Movie.
Yep.
Yeah, with what's up, Coachman. That is not getting made today. Oh man, but we're coming up to the ending of the episode. And first of all, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out all of our other months out there. We have Trash Month, which is movies that are made from that are released on January and February that studios kind of just dump out.
We had a film festival month.
All right, we do.
We had a WWE Studios month.
And we also have WWE Wrestler movie months.
Right. Different months. This is WWE Studio with no wrestlers or not WWE with wrestlers.
So we got plenty of things there for you. Obviously, we also have specific actors with their own months. So far, we have Jean-Claude Van Damme, we have Nicolas Cage, we have Danny Trejo, and now we have Rosario Dawson and Robert Pattinson. And all that stuff. And I think this is like a fun thing to keep doing because there's so many actors now.
Right. Yeah, it was Nick Cage is like the cheesy actor that everybody loves to hate or hates to love.
Hey, well, ever since his Cage-a-sons, he's been in everyone's good graces.
Right. Pattinson was a lot of fun because that was I didn't
realize his range.
Right, I didn't know how he was in anything besides Batman and Twilight.
So a lot of fun months for you guys to join. But if this is the first time you guys are checking us out, we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD it, Blu-ray, and Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at?
I would probably Blu-ray this. I really enjoyed this. Give this a rewatch. I feel like you probably would get some fun bonus material with this.
With the Danny Boyle and everything talking about it.
Yeah,
most definitely. I think I probably would go DVD. I think I enjoyed this movie a lot, but it's like one of those movies where like when you know the twist, you're like, oh. I think it does have a decent amount of rewatchability. I think maybe 2 to 3, just because you can kind of like maybe you'll notice things here and there.
Right. Always kind of fun when once you've watched it, and you know the twist, you kind of go back and see how many clues. That they lead to.
But like I was like. I kind of caught on the clues before the twist. So I was like, that's why I think maybe for me it wasn't like mysterious enough. Or like one of my favorite Danny Boyle movies is Sunshine, which we've done.
Right.
And for me, that movie has a lot of rewatchability just because I enjoy like the aspect of space and what they were doing. And it's almost like a cosmic horror because of like the allure the sun was like having an effect on everybody.
You're right. That was a pretty amazing movie.
Yeah, and like obviously the cast is like amazing with like Chris Evans, Benedict Wong, Michelle Yeoh, the Japanese actor, I forgot his name, but he was like in the original Ring and he's on the Shogun thing. Yep. Hiroyuki.
Danny Boyle is a good eye for picking people who are just starting to that.
Yeah, or just
that climb.
Yeah, or like I don't know who's his casting director or whatever.
Right, because even like Train Spotting, what was that? That was
it's with
like,
Ian McGregor.
His second movie. Yeah, and he's huge, and to pick him to.
Yeah, and I love that Ian McGregor is old enough to now he's like almost getting close to the age of the original Obi-Wan kind of actor. He's like, I can play this forever, guys. You guys gonna keep paying me money? He's living out the dream that Chris Hemsworth might not be able to live out. Because I'll play Thor as long as you want. No, but Ian McGregor could play freaking Obi-Wan as long as he's needed to. But yeah, no, thank you guys. First of all, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out our links down below where we have all of our social links.
Yeah, and we got our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, all connected somewhere. And follow us on everything. Like us, share. Share us. That's a great way to get a hold of us and let us know what you want us to review.
Yeah, we're gonna get busier on those hopefully. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Muse for Podcast 3, and our Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.